खेल जगत से जुड़े खिलाड़ियों के लिए बेन नेविस डायग्नोस्टिक सेंटर और मल्टी स्पेशलिटी फैमिली क्लिनिक लाउंज एक विशेष कार्ड लेके आया है, जिसे हम प्रिविलेज कार्ड भी कह सकते हैं। यह प्रिविलेज कार्ड उन लोगों के लिए है जो 60 साल से ज्यादा उम्र के हो चुके हैं। ऐसे लोगों के इलाज में काफी हद तक यह कार्ड आर्थिक रूप से मदद करेगा। बेन नेविस का यह प्रिविलेज कार्ड आने वाले दिनों में 60 साल के नीचे तक के सभी खिलाड़ियों को अपनी सेवा देने की तैयारी कर रहा है। प्रिविलेज कार्ड के उद्घाटन के मौके पर टेनिस जगत के खिलाड़ी लिएंडर पेस मुख्य अतिथि के रूप में कोलकाता में मौजूद थे।
It is such a wonderful thing that Dr. Pranav Dasgupta, who is one of the legends of our city of Kolkata, has done to start out the Ben Nevis Diagnostic Center and Family Clinic. Because as a professional athlete, I know that preventive medicine is more important than curing an ailment. I find that most people in society nowadays only go to the doctor when they get sick. They only go to the doctor when they have an ailment like a stomach ache or a headache or they have fever, or if they have an injury they go. But I think it's really important to do preventive medicine where you get your medical checkups done twice every year. My Baba, who is not only an Olympic champion but also a doctor of sports medicine, from a very young age he's always made me do my medical checkups twice a year. Once in January and then in July. And in that, the medical checkups that we do are a very comprehensive medical checkup. Dr. Pranav Dasgupta and Baba had started a clinic called the Vital Medical Center, which specialized in not just corporate medicine but also in family medicine. And in that, I was beneficial of the fact that the knowledge of sports science, the knowledge of sports medicine in the family that I was brought up in, not just with genetics but also with the quality of life, is the reason that I became a champion. I feel that great legends like Dr. Pranav Dasgupta and Dr. Vespes are doing such wonderful work for the community of Kolkata that I feel that with Arnab Dasgupta and myself, the next generation, we youngsters are born into legacy. And I would wonderfully like to extend my hand in friendship to Arnab to see as to how we can take the Ben Nevis Family Clinic and medical clinics and see as to how we can expand that all throughout West Bengal and then hopefully through the country. I think that for every young child, doing a check, doing your blood work, doing an echocardiograph, measuring the density of your bones, looking at the positives and not so positives of each individual's health. Hence you can get your medical checkup done and then design a lifestyle that can give you a great quality of life. I also feel that with modern medicine again, the longevity of life is increased. Where today, Gen Z are going to be living till they're 95, 100 years old. But for me, it's the quality of life that is more important than the quantity of life. And I think that's where we as a community must focus on with the expertise of these legends who have come forward to do such wonderful things for our community through the Ben Nevis Family and Medical Clinic. Dr. Pranav Dasgupta and Arnab and Dr. Siddiq, who's been part of Ben Nevis for a long time now. It's a wonderful thing to come into the community and give a special medical card for the senior citizens. In that way you have senior citizens, sportsmen and women, both athletes as well as journalists as well as business people who are all part of sport. The criteria is that if you are part of sport, you just have to come with your ID, show what part of the sports fraternity you are in, and through that you will get a special card, a special medical card of the Ben Nevis Medical Clinic to get a 50% discount for your medical checkups. Who is a senior citizen over 60 years of age, male or female, who is either an athlete or a businessman or woman or part of sport fraternity will benefit from this scheme. So I really am very proud of Dr. Pranav Dasgupta and I'm very grateful to him for doing some wonderful work in our community. I can also say that just coming out of a COVID-19 pandemic, I myself know so many athletes who not only lost their jobs, who not only could not earn a living, but also they didn't have money for just simple medical treatment. They didn't have money for a medical bed. athletes lost their lives, people lost their lives, not just athletes, but people lost their lives because they didn't get quality medical treatment in time. And I think that just magnifies how wonderful the Ben Nevis project is to make a difference in the community, because we're still suffering with COVID-19. People still have coughs, people still have respiratory issues, people still have side effects from the vaccines, people still have, different strains of COVID-19 going on. So I think that in that, preventive medicine is very important. And I think that when you have great legends like Dr. Pranab Dasgupta, Dr. Pez, Dr. Siddique here, who's done some wonderful work at the University of Havana, Cuba, it's legends like this who we should avail their expertise, we should avail their hard work, the years and years of not just theoretical study they've done in medicine, but the years of practical medicine that they've done, the number of patients they've dealt with, the number of cases they've seen. That is the magic, I think, of our Indian doctors, is that the sheer population that we live in, our doctors get to see 100x cases than doctors around the world because of the sheer population. So I think for me it's a great privilege here to be inaugurating the Ben Nevis Family Clinic and medical health checkups. And when you look at the advanced medical treatments that they have, so many. I myself was born with a mitral valve prolapse, so my cardiovascular checkups, my ECGs, my stress tests on a treadmill is something I do twice a year. I was very privileged to be born into a family where my Baba was not just a Olympic champion in field hockey, but also he was a sports medicine specialist. I think that Arnab is also privileged to be born into a family with so much of legacy. I think that when you look at Dada here and what a great job he does at East Bengal and how many years of experience he has, I think that sports medicine, exactly like you said, is maybe the topmost reason I had a 31-year career. I feel that quality of life is more important than quantity of life. I feel that when you look at stalwarts and legends in the sporting fraternity, it's wonderful to see their camaraderie coming together to make a difference in the community. And I'll say this again, it's not just for athletes, it's not just for males, it's also for females and also for every single individual in the community to get your medical checkups done twice a year. Preventive medicine and preventing any sort of ailment is more important than trying to cure something. So stay ahead of the curve, stay ahead of the game. And that is why I feel like when you look at even a sporting club that is so rich in legacy, to be able to avail of sports medicine like this and enhance not just the longevity of career, but the quality of performance. Because each athlete is a commodity. Each athlete, each human being is a commodity. And I think that quality of life is important. 100% believe that using modern medicine and sports medicine to go into the rural areas to pick talent. I personally believe that more than 50% of our talent in India is untapped. And I feel like if we can use physical tests, mental tests, medical tests, and build a wonderful scouting program, not just in Calcutta and Bombay and Delhi and Chennai, but also to go into the Orissa state, also to go into the Haryana state, also to go into the Gujarat state, also to go into the Telangana state, to go into every state in our country and go to the rural areas where the talent is. Because they don't have a chance to get on a plane or a train and come to the main cities to hone their skills, to show their skills. I think it'll be wonderful where a youngster like Arnab, who's been born into this wonderful legacy of his Dasgupta family, or someone like myself who was born into the legacy of the Pace family, it'll be wonderful to see how we youngsters can take this knowledge and this wonderful legacy our seniors have built and carry that forward in showing honor to them. I believe it's very important to honor the legends of medicine and of sports medicine, where not too far ago, not even 3 years ago, these wonderful human beings were saving lives. You know, today we're lucky we can talk about peak performance, we can talk about Olympic athletes, we can talk about nurturing champions. But these legends were actually saving lives 3 years ago and every day. So I think that it's wonderful to honor them and continue their legacy.
বললো প্রণব আই এম নট ওয়েল, একটা নাম বলছি, গুডবাক্স হতে পারে, বাইচুং হতে পারে। ইফ দে আর অ্যাবভ 60 ইয়ার্স, আমরা ইমিডিয়েটলি আমাদের লোক পাঠিয়ে প্যাথোলজি টেস্ট করবো, রিপোর্ট পেয়ে যাবো। উইল ট্রাই টু হেল্প দেম উইথ এ ডক্টর। অ্যান্ড অ্যাডমিশনটা খুব ডিফিকাল্ট আমাদের। উই আর ট্রাইং টু টাই আপ উইথ গভর্নমেন্ট হসপিটাল। I'll speak to the sports minister so that we can admit them in hospital. এখন যদি patient can afford a private nursing home, যে আমি পারতে, we will try to see whether we can admit them with a discount. So we are trying to tie up with AMRI hospital, Woodlands Bellevue, যদি দেখতে পারি স্পোর্টসম্যানদের জন্য ওরা যদি একটু ডিসকাউন্ট দিতে পারে। So we have just started this year. There are some problems at the beginning, but gradually we'll improve. And in 1 year, I'm sure we'll be very, very well ready to start the whole thing. I mean, I am a sportsman myself. I've always had software about sports people. I mean, দেখেছি once a top football player, cricket player যখন বয়স হয়ে যায়, they are not looked after very well because of whatever be the circumstances. তখন আমি রিসেন্টলি লাস্ট 1 year মধ্যে দুটো ফুটবলার মরে গেছে, নাম বলতে চাই না আমি, অ্যান্ড দে হ্যাড economic problems, হসপিটালে ভর্তি হতে পারে নাই, and then the government had to help. So we are trying to see whether Ben Nevis Diagnostic Center can solve these problems.
মানে এখানে এজ কিছু আছে
60 years.
60 ইয়ার আপনাদের যারা এখন খেলাধুলা করছে
ওইটা আমরা সেকেন্ড ফেজে চেষ্টা করছি, যারা যারা খেলবে ওদের জন্য করতে পারি কিনা।
কি রকম সব ব্যবস্থা থাকবে, ট্রিটমেন্টের ব্যবস্থা?
একটা হলো গিয়ে 50% ডিসকাউন্টস অন প্যাথোলজি, 20% ডিসকাউন্টস অন MRI scan, 20% discounts on other investigations, helping them in hospital admission. তারপরে হসপিটালে কথা বলে যদি আমরা ওদের একটা ডিসকাউন্ট করতে পারি। ডক্টর প্রণব দাসগুপ্ত, আমি গাইনোকোলজিস্ট, এইটা হলো, আদারওয়াইজ আমি ইস্ট বেঙ্গল ফুটবল ক্লাবের প্রেসিডেন্ট।
जो स्पोर्ट्समैन आज रिटायर्ड है उनके पास इंश्योरेंस या उनके पास जो फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट चाहिए, आज हेल्थ केयर का जो स्थिति है, जो कॉस्ट हेल्थ केयर का है, दे आर वेरी हाई। इसलिए एवरीवन इज़ लुकिंग टू फाइंड वेज टू हेल्प स्पोर्ट्समैन। Now, sporadic financial assistance announced by the state or the central government is not sufficient. Someone has to make a gesture which is significant. So we have said things such as we will give 50% of blood tests. Now, this is something which will help people to be able to afford these things. इसके अलावा आज need of the hour is not just having to do a blood test, having to do an X-ray. The need of the hour is firstly getting guidance. आज किसी का ऑर्थोपेडिक का प्रॉब्लम, नी रिप्लेसमेंट हो, उनके पास स्वास्थ्य साथी कार्ड है, उनको पहले समझना है कि कौन हॉस्पिटल एक्सेप्ट करेंगे। उसके लिए भी उनको 5-6 हॉस्पिटल जाने पर है खोज टू फाइंड आउट। तो दीज आर द काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स वी विल डू द होमवर्क एंड हेल्प द पर्सन। हम लोग कुछ क्राइटेरिया रखे हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल because we want to cover initially people who are retired, so we have said 60 years and over are people who can avail of all these benefits. There was a question from another press reporter regarding can we also look at active sportsmen. We are looking at that as a second phase. We would also like to broaden the ecosystem. We would like other hospitals and diagnostic centers to partner with us in this objective, because today someone who is living in Salt Lake may not be able to come to Hazra Road where we are located. So we would like this ecosystem where other hospitals in Salt Lake are also participating, so that this kind of a privilege is accorded to sportsmen who have given up years of their prime life, in many cases not working, to play for the state, play for the country.